This is Stephanie Diaz de Leon.
This is David Dahmer.
This is Omar Wahid.
And this is Rob Chappell.
And it's 365 Amplified. And for today, we actually have Dave in the house.
Yay.
Yay.
And a full room this time. Last week it was just me and Rob.
Yeah, well, because things changed.
Yeah.
I
We
don't
did
know.
great.
You did great.
We held it down.
It was actually our best podcast yet.
Whatever.
Omar even did the introduction, and it was fantastic.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
I
a
felt
choice.
powerful. I
Did you?
understand now.
I understand.
So the weight of that responsibility.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move into the first story we want to talk about this morning, Rob.
Yeah, Dave, you have a feature up as of Thursday morning on a new establishment on the east side.
Yeah, this is very exciting. This is going to be the Madison's first women-centered sports bar. Rita Adair, a lot of people know her in the community for a long time. Mm-hmm. She actually started Adair's Lounge back in the day, probably like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, that's where Gamma Ray Bar is now.
Gamma
right?
Ray Bar is now downtown, but her longtime wife passed away. Bernell Hooker, and she was kind of famous throughout the state, but especially in Milwaukee for starting the Milwaukee Aces women's basketball team. She was a college basketball coach for 25 years. She started all these like sports programs and camps for girls and women. Mm-hmm. She was a pioneer, like a trailblazer, and unfortunately she passed about a year ago, and Rita was around town, and they always were talking about starting a sports bar together, and then she was looking for like a WNBA game, and only one place out of 15 places she went around town, and McFarland and Sun Prairie and even downtown would put a game on for her. So she's like, okay, we got to do this now. And so I went out there, and it's the former Red Rooster off of Stoughton Road.
Mm-hmm.
There's a giant red rooster on the side, and I was talking to her about it, and she's like, well, I'm like, what are you gonna do with that? And she's like, well, I want to keep them.
Oh, there you go.
And the artist said he didn't mind if I put some sports stuff on him, maybe a basketball coming from his,
his wing.
Yeah, like that. And because it's a big, beautiful rooster.
Yeah.
And the Red Rooster used to do blues, and so she wants to keep doing blues on Thursday nights, and maybe another night because she says there's a big demand for it.
Yeah.
But she's going to have soul food, she's going to have brunches, she's going to have all kinds of stuff, and then most importantly, she's going to have women's sports. But she's also going to have the Packers, because,
Very important.
People love the Packers. Yeah. And she's also going to she's got a big area back there. That's kind of where we sat. And she was still fixing it up where she can have like concerts, and she can have like spoken word. She can do pop-ups. So there's a lot of potential in the place. It's in a little bit of a weird spot. She was trying to get like East Side, Atwood and all that, but like she said, it was really hard to get, but it's also a nice big spot, and I think people will really like it, and it's the first of its kind. It's never been done. This is for women to come, women's sports, not just basketball, but she said volleyball, hockey, the UW hockey team's so good, and whatever else. So.
And the timing seems good. The WNBA is doing really well. I mean, the WNBA playoffs right now are
so
very.
Yes. And so they lived in Vegas for a
good.
while, and they became really good friends with the Las Vegas Aces. Not to be confused with the Milwaukee Aces, who are now defunct. And the Aces won 2 years in a row, and they're about to win 3 of the last 4 titles.
Yeah,
so
they're about to win again.
There's a little TikTok video there of the Aces coming to present a jersey to Bernell when she was sick, and just talking to her, and it's very emotional. So it was kind of cool, to check that out.
And Madison's getting a women's soccer team.
Yeah, she mentioned that too, soccer, and there's the one, the love volleyball.
Oh, right.
And she also mentioned campus. She's like, she wants to see if she can get UW people out there to watch all this stuff. And so
for the volleyball and the women's hockey away matches, and because both, like I said, both those teams are competitive at a national level, right? Well, the women's hockey is more than competitive; they just keep winning.
She seemed very, very ambitious what she wanted to do. Yeah, and as far as food and as far as entertainment, both inside and outside, and she's very excited about it. So
that's cool.
It was a fun interview.
When are they?
Cool.
November 8th.
Oh, pretty soon.
That's when if everything goes well. She's still got to get through some inspections. And something, things just pop up left and right. She's saying, and, I was there, and there were people working all over the place trying to, inside and out, sprucing it up. and just, taking care of little things. And then November 8th is going to be the ribbon cutting. They're going to have a champagne toast, live entertainment, food.
Cool.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So I think that's a Saturday. So.
All right. That sounds great. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
I know Dave's got to run, so we're going to switch over and we'll just
take a second.
And we're going to turn the page back to Sun Prairie, which is a place we've talked about a bit.
Always about the schools, though.
I know.
Yeah, just the schools. Yeah. Now, speaking of the schools, though, they did have their annual meeting, which was not a school board meeting exactly. It was the annual meeting of the district, meaning like just voters from the district to come and hear about. Normally, they just hear about the budget. Right, but there was more to it than you went to that meeting, Omar.
There was so much more to it. Long story short, everyone's mad about Sun Prairie. I don't know if you've been paying attention the past decade to Sun Prairie, but it's finally capstoned that the residents, the electors, have voted for no confidence in the superintendent. That is an advisory motion. Technically, whatever they say still needs to be voted on by the school board, and the school board actually has to enact it, but they want them gone.
This was not like a referendum. This was like people who came to that meeting, so it's a relatively small number of people.
I think it was about 150.
Yeah, but they pretty overwhelmingly passed that motion, yeah?
Yes. 68 to 45.
What is there? I mean, we've heard about the dean of students from West High School who is now in custody and has been charged at both state and federal level with possessing child pornography and exploitation of a child and all sorts of nasty things. But is that what they're mad about?
That's
mostly
the final tipping point. But
that's just the last thing.
It's a slew of other things. Lack of clarity for how the school is actually allocating funds. How the school board is receiving and using their own individual funds, the CKLA curriculum thing.
Right. Yeah,
that thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. What do you mean you forgot about that? We did a story on that too.
Yeah, that was like a year ago or so that they had a reading curriculum that was pretty blatantly racist.
Yes. All the racial incidents, too many to count. But I'm sure someone has, and that's why they're saying let's do something about the leadership. Maybe it's time to change it. It's been 10 years that Brad Saron, that I don't know how you say his name.
I don't know.
It's one of those two, and no one did say it at that meeting, so I didn't ever pick that up. But They want a change, and either that needs to come in a new superintendent or some type of performance improvement plan, some investigation. It's not entirely clear what. That is still up to the school board to decide. Termination is one of the recommendations, but in addition to that, they are going over issues with the budget for as long as these problems have been existing. Like this year's tax levy is meant to be $93 million, but they said, why are you getting more money if we have all these issues that you refuse to address? Why are you hiring more administrators? Why are you not raising teacher salaries? Why are we still having all these other issues, but you're still taking in more money to do nothing different? So they said in one of their advisory motions to keep the tax levy the exact same, pending that they make plans to improve with the overall administration, especially senior administration, and they have about a few weeks for the school board to actually decide to implement that. Again, technically everything is up to the school board at the end of the day, but they're hoping.
Is there any sense that the school board is open to this?
That's a tough one because a lot of the school board members are new.
Oh, right. That's true because the president left and somebody else left earlier, like last year. I think
there's 3 or 4 new on the board in total.
So So the makeup of this board is not really even close to the same board that hired Brad Saron to begin with. Mm-hmm. So there might be an openness to change, maybe.
There might be.
The other issue we have is that the school board keeps meeting in closed session.
They do keep meeting in closed session.
Which is the subject of a lawsuit right now.
Which is interesting that they keep doing that, right? Like now they're like oversharing information. So folks are a little bit overwhelmed by what is being shared with them and such. But they still have closed sessions like crazy.
Right. That oversharing of information was interesting because it was sort of like,
well, look, we have nothing to hide now.
Well, it was all about the Dean of Students case, right? And people were putting in public records requests, et cetera. And they kind of said, okay, fine, here's everything. And they like dropped that guy, Robert Gilkin Meisiger is his name. They basically released his entire personnel file.
Well, that's only for him. Residents have had other budget questions.
Right.
And they've been submitting records requests because they refuse to answer them. And only some of them are also being answered, which is, I think, part of a complaint of that same lawsuit.
Right. And so they did sort of drop that one trove of documents thinking that would satisfy people.
Yeah.
But
no.
That was the intention.
But it didn't.
Not
and
at all.
Also, that was like 60, 70 pages, but it was missing key
information. And look, there's certain things absolutely should remain redacted. That was not the concern.
No.
But they were picking and choosing.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was interesting is the thing that caught my eye is that it included the trove of documents that they just put out one day, at like 4:00 in the afternoon, was included when Robert Gilkin Meisiger first joined the school district. It was as a youth advocate.
Yeah.
And then he got promoted to Dean of Students, and then he got placed on leave, and then fired, and then arrested. In that trove of documents, they had his application for the youth advocate job, but not for the Dean of Students job.
Well, they had his application and his resume for that job.
And his background check and all the
that
documentation
information for that specific role only.
Right. And then for a week and a half, nobody would tell me, did he actually apply for that job or not?
For the new job.
For the Dean of Students job.
And so he was a youth advocate and he was a coach.
Basketball coach, yep.
Basketball
and weight room
coach
supervisor.
Yep. Because the youth advocate job was only 20-something hours, right? So here's the thing. Rob only knows this because I went looking through the whole thing and I said, I have a question for you. I have a concern. I don't think he applied for this newer job.
So finally,
which was a significant difference in a role, right? He went from a youth advocate to a / coach to now dean of all students,
which requires a license, which he didn't have,
but was on his way to get, and still was hired. And given the change, the complete change, not just in title but the entire role, aren't there rules that require you to post that job?
Well, now what they're telling me is,
I bet now
that they did post the job.
Where?
I don't know.
Where you post it?
27 people applied for it.
Okay.
Including him.
Where's the resume?
Well, I put in that request.
Yeah. Where's the resume then? Like, because you posted his old resume. Why not his current one?
Well, why not the application? Why not the posting of the job?
Yeah.
It takes a while to make those posts. Haste.
Yeah.
To go back to them and create. Right. But like, I was like, something happened where they didn't want us to see certain things. I.e., like, if they did post it, either he wasn't as qualified as other candidates were, and let him go through anyways. It may have been a misstep in the way they were sending things, but it was an interesting choice.
Yep. And to back up a little bit, he didn't have a teaching license, but you need a teaching license for the Dean of Students job.
Yeah.
But the school district HR director submitted a form with the DPI saying, we did a search. We couldn't find anybody qualified, so we're giving it to this guy who's going to get his license in the next year.
So he asked for a special exception.
Yeah.
27 people, allegedly.
Yeah. Applied for this role.
And none of them with a license were qualified, which that's a whole other set of questions.
So what were the qualifications? And that was the thing. It's like, so either they did do it, like, and decided, like, no, it should go for him. But, like, what was the qualifications? What was the requirements?
The majority of people who do apply to schools have the certification qualifications.
Because it will say minimum requirement, these certifications, right? that usually is a signal for folks like, oh, I can't apply if I don't have those certifications.
And the dean of students is like an upper level position.
It's an administrative
so you've been
role
in this for a while, so you would have that certification already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these 27 people,
like none of them had that. At the very least, one of them should have had that, and would have made them a little bit more qualified than this person, I would think.
Right. And as I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but they offered them the job in May. They offered them promotion in May of 2024. May 2025.
Yeah.
And then on June 13th, he found out that he was accepted into the UW Whitewater program that would get him his license. June 14th is when they submitted the paperwork to DPI to basically get an exception to let him have the job without the license because he was going to get the license within a year.
But they hired him before he got accepted.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. So he wasn't even on a path.
Right. When they offered him the job, he was not yet on a path to get a license.
The logic isn't tracking. It's
no, the messiness.
But and you can see then why parents and family members,
why is there a mistrust in the community?
In Sun Prairie don't quite trust this administration. Yeah. We will also say that the Department of Human Resources Director and the principal at Sun Prairie West are both on leave, and their licenses have been suspended by the DPI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the way all this went down.
Maybe Sun Prairie will finally have a positive change.
Well,
we'll see. We'll keep on with it.
Yeah. I think that community pressure and holding folks accountable is important in this space. So I think folks should continue to do so because, like I said, local matters way more than I think we ever give credit to, and showing up and asking for transparency is an important part of this. Change happens because you all help make that happen, and holding folks accountable, not just for one thing, but for all things that were a harm for their kids and their community's experience is important. So we'll continue to see and follow this.
We sure will. In the meantime, we're also getting ready for our big event, which is rapidly approaching.
It is.
November
it always
3rd.
Happens faster.
It's Madison Concourse Hotel pen time.
Let's
I'm running out.
out.
I mentioned it this morning.
You have a Madison Concourse pen hanging on your lanyard right now.
These are the best pens.
They last forever.
So long. I only fully ran out of one. I do lose pens all the time, of course.
Yeah.
I'm on my last two Madison Concourse pens.
So you know it's time. You know it's summertime.
I know it's time.
You know it's summertime when when you're running out of pens. But also, that's our annual 365 Leadership Summit.
Yep.
We are very excited for that experience every year. We work to really try to curate an opportunity for folks to really engage and network, but also talk about their lived experiences being here in Wisconsin, the various sectors that we all work and live in.
We call it the state's premier professional development, networking, and community building event.
Yep.
And all those things happen at once on that day. Literally 100 or so people from our most influential list and other people adjacent to leadership in Madison and Dane County and Wisconsin, frankly.
Yep.
And we're announcing sort of the panelists and moderators like twice a day. So watch your social media feeds, watch your email inboxes to see the caliber of people we have that you can come and listen to. And
learn from. And connect with and network with, because folks make themselves available to for you to continue to ask questions of them or to give them feedback or, just to hang a little bit and such. And so it's an exciting and really rewarding experience. I tell people all the time that when we talk about this event, we always talk about, what do folks need and what they're looking for, but also what do we need? And for myself, and I think for Henry as well, it's we love to see representation, not just because it helps fuel and sort of inspire everybody else, but also because it does it for us too, right? It fills a cup in a way that we never really have had a chance to see, so we decided to build it ourselves. So
this is the 8th.
It is the 8th year. We've talked about oh no, we're about to hit 10.
Yeah,
I know.
Are we going to be doing our 10-year celebration then?
Maybe.
Madison 365 reached 10 years, and the summit is now at 8 years.
Yeah. We'll have to do something somewhere.
Yeah.
We talked about it, too. Like, do we go back to the OG for the summit?
Back to Ho Chunk Nation?
I mean, that was an incredible first
We could have been in a casino.
It was.
You would have lost track to me.
You would not have. I was amazed at how well behaved everybody was. That nobody really hit casinos until the evening or the next day. Mm-hmm. But it was that. I mean, that we've talked about. Do we go back?
That's because I wasn't there.
You weren't there. You would have gotten a crew of people.
Bad influence.
You would have had a panel, a session on
how to give back. The poker table's hot.
Let's go. So yeah. That we've talked about the different things we might do for our 10th,
which is in a couple of years.
That's great. Yeah.
So it's 365leadershipsummit.org. You can go and register there, and join us. Be there Monday, November 3rd at the concourse downtown Madison. By the time you're listening to this, you will know whether the Brewers won Game 4.
Is that a big deal?
Yes, it's a big deal.
Oh, okay.
The Game 4 is Thursday night, which is about 10 hours from now, as we're recording this. If they win that, it's over, and they go to the National League Championship Series. If they don't win that, if you're listening to this on Friday morning and they didn't win, then there's one more Brewer game on Saturday afternoon, which will conflict with Ford Madison. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be an overlap there. I might be at the Ford Madison game listening to the Brewer game, which would be weird.
You might. We'll see.
Might. And Ford Madison finds themselves still in the hunt for the playoffs, which is really weird considering how bad they are this year.
I mean,
that's what happens when you have a league of 14 teams and 8 make the playoffs. Say, 2/3 of the league makes the playoff. You can be pretty bad and still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And no threat of relegation.
Yeah.
Yes, not yet.
Not yet.
A couple years that'll happen.
Look at Rob thinking about it already.
Well, they're excited for it.
Yeah, 2027 they're going to launch the Division 1 in the USL.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
And in 2028 they're going to start promoting and relegating teams, which is the way to do it in England and everywhere else in the world, frankly.
Well, that do you think? I wonder what kind of decision making will happen for your teams. It'll be interesting what they're willing to put up with and what they're not when that comes into play. Mm-hmm. Right? What are we willing to? You know what? It's okay. We're going to keep going down this line. Or are they going to be no, we got to win?
Yeah.
Because it changes. It changes the way that you move.
It changes your calculus. Definitely changes.
It's a different kind, which is why it's, I think, a much more fascinating game than it is.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just the 90 minutes. You have do you invest and because right now they could move up a division. They could move from third division to second division by paying $10 million.
Yeah, they have to pay money for it, which is different.
That's an option.
Yeah,
yeah, and teams do it. Lexington did it. North Carolina did it. But the ownership group here has said we're not interested in moving up until we can do so on the field.
Yeah, which I think, as somebody who grew up not in American soccer but in Mexican, European soccer. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm interested. Now I care a little bit than I do right now. Because right now I'm okay, you all just hang on because you can. You don't. There's nothing to lose here by hanging on for the rest of the year or 2 years or whatever. Right? It's I don't want to dismiss it, but it is a different mindset.
Right. When you're at the bottom of the league and fighting to stay in the league. Yep. That's exciting.
It is.
And when you're
even at the bottom, watching you fight to stay at that just to stay at that level, it's a totally different experience when your team is at the bottom. And it's the bottom, but you're hanging on so you can just stay and you don't have to move down. It's a different experience. Absolutely.
I have a friend who's a Southampton fan, and that's every year.
Every year, that's
can we stay in the league, please? That's where my team was a couple years ago. Fulham.
So stay in the league, please might be a T-shirt that you all should get ready to invest in 2 years. But but it is a different dynamic in terms of cheering for a team in that situation.
Then, the difficult part is then you have a great season and win promotion and then go up a league and then get your butt kicked for the whole season.
I know. But it's also
but it's cool.
But it's a different kind of your butt's being kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, listener, go watch Welcome to Wrexham.
No. Ted Lasso. That's the entire plot line.
That's the whole.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot about
that. You can laugh.
There's some folks I don't feel like giving money to, but but Ted Lasso is only available on Apple Plus or something.
Apple TV.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yep.
I don't know. Whatever your poison, you could also just find a YouTube doc about it.
Yeah, just Google what is promotion and relegation.
To understand.
Yeah. So anyway, that's exciting.
I know it is exciting.
Madison might stumble into 8th place in the league and then play one more game and lose that one, and then
you were talking about the Brewers, and somehow we still ended up in soccer.
Yep.
When in doubt.
He's passionate.
He knows how to bring it right back around to his favorite things.
All right, we're going to finish with a question. What's our question?
We are okay, but so I have to understand what all these letters mean on your soundboard. But the question is, what sound do you wish played every time, and only from the soundboard, played every time you walked into a room?
Air horn.
Is this still on the soccer thing?
just in general.
But I mean, is that on the soundboard?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm saying only from the soundboard.
Oh, isn't there an applause button?
Yes, there's an applause button.
That one.
Hold on. I think for me, just entering the room, I think the little rim shot, me entering a room is a joke. Hey, everybody, Rob.
Or I mean, I could see also Omar liking that one too.
I would, but
not like as you walk into a room.
But like, I feel like applause is sitcom, like when the beloved
like 30 minutes,
like Kramer shows up at the door or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's a little applause, everyone's cheering.
Or Schneider, if you're
Kramer's here. So
what other ones are there?
What other sounds?
Yeah.
Well, there's the little sad trombone.
I might like that one just to ruin people's day. It's just like lower expectations.
There's a number of like musical tracks like jazz and.
Oh no, I would not be jazzy.
You don't like jazz?
I do like jazz. I wouldn't be jazzy. No, I do love jazz, but I wouldn't be jazzy as I walk into a space. Like that wouldn't be authentic.
So what's your?
I mean, like I said the sad trombone just to like lower expectations would be great. I might have good news. I might have bad news. I might have nothing to say. Anyway, sad trombone is how we're going to end it. Because we're sad we're leaving, but we'll be back next week, everybody.